Hello, I'm Million St. Hilaire, and in this video I want to show you how you can connect this type of hot tub that has the IQ2020 controller in it to Home Assistant. And so this will allow you to control the hot tub fully from your phone, obviously from anywhere you can access your Home Assistant. So the way this is done is there's a small ESP32 computer. It's not expensive. You know, everything will cost you around $30 or $40 at most. And you can add that inside your hot tub. It takes a few minutes. And then once you're done, you can see the hot tub device on your Home Assistant. You can control jets, lights, and lock the remote control here. You can also, of course, control the temperature and monitor a whole bunch of different settings. So for example, here I have Jets 1. I'm going to turn them on. There we go. I'm going to turn it off. Jets 2 on. And Jets 2 here, if I tap on it, you can see that it has a low and a high setting. I'm currently on low. I can do high. Back to low. And off. There it goes. And of course I can change the temperature, and I can see when the heaters inside the spa are running and what the wattage is of those heaters. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to get that little computer, set up the ESP32 ESP Home firmware on it, and how to install it inside this hot tub. So here is everything we need for this project. So first there's this M5 stack ESP32. Now this is the actual computer. It has Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and yeah, lots of other things. It has a USB port, and we're going to be using this for adding the software to this, this computer. And then we have this little device. This is a RS485 adapter for this little computer here. And this is going to do basically the conversion to communicate with the hot tub, but also it takes in 12 volts from the hot tub and will power the little computer using 12 volts because this is only 3 volts. So yeah, now the thing you're going to do is you're going to take this little connector that comes with it, and you are going to plug it in here like that, snap in there. And then we're going to connect 4 of these breadboard wires, and ideally you want them in different colors. Here I have the exact colors I need. And you're going to need a tiny little screwdriver because this adapter has 4 little screws in the back to tighten these wire connections. So what we're going to do is just connect those wires now. And then also you're going to need a USB-C cable, and this is only to program this device. Once it's programmed, you don't need the, and installed in the hot tub, you won't need this cable anymore because the power will come from the hot tub 12 volt. So you'll need a small screwdriver. So let's go ahead and connect that. Also, one thing I want to mention is that these breadboard wires, you want a female end on one side and a male end on the other. And so the male end will go onto the adapter and the female will go to the hot tub. So I'm going to use these 4 wires, and I'm going to have blue. I'm going to have blue for B. I'm going to have yellow for A. I'm going to have red for the 12 volt, and I'm going to have black for ground. So I'm going to take these 4 wires, exactly the right color, and put them in the right spots. Okay, here we go. We have the 4 wires connected, and we have them with the right colors, connected to the right places, and you can pull, just make sure that they're all connected snugly. Perfect. Now you don't have to use the right exact colors, but I prefer having the right colors here. It makes it easy. Now, once you got this all set up, the way this will work is once you have the software loaded on this computer, you will be able to plug it in to the adapter and connect these 4 cables to the spa or the hot tub. But first, before we do this, we will need to program this computer here. So I'm going to disconnect it, connect it to the USB-C, and now I'm going to go and connect it to my computer. I have a Windows computer in my case, and I am going to program this with ESP Home. Now, before we go to the next step, I want to point out there are alternatives to these two. These are the ones I recommend. They're the smallest, they're super easy, they don't cost very much, and they're sort of the most convenient. But for example, this is an alternative, a much bigger RS485 adapter, but same pins. There's A, B, 12 volt, and ground, just a kind of a larger module than the smaller one here. And then the computer, this is the ESP32 Atom. This is nice and small, but you can get the stick version. This one has a screen, it has motion detection, it has more buttons and so on. You really don't need this. This is like, you know, expensive, more expensive than you really need to. And you don't need the screen, we won't be using it. But you could connect this here, and then you connect the 4 pins there, just like this one, and this would also work. Now the GPIO and the configuration is a little different. So if you're using this model or another model than these, then there is a page on GitHub that covers other models and the configuration changes you have to make. But for now, we're going to use this one and go program it. So now I am on my main computer, and I am ready to go and start working on putting the right software inside this ESP32 computer. So you don't need to connect the adapter. That's going to be for when you have it on the hot tub. But right now you're just going to take this computer and you're going to get ready to set it up or connect it to USB-C. Now before I do that, I'm going to switch over to my desktop here. And what I want to do is go into the Windows Device Manager. And in the Device Manager, there's a bunch of hardware and there's ports here, COM and LPT. And these are where your COM ports are. So what I'm going to do is plug in this ESP32 device right there, and it will do a little chime, and you're going to see here an additional port. Now in my case it's COM4, but it could be a different COM port. So take note of that, because that's the COM port that your device is connected on. Okay, next I'm going to go to my Home Assistant panel. So this is where I control all my stuff. And I'm going to go in Settings, Add-ons, and I'm going to make sure that ESP Home is installed. If it's not installed, just click on the add-on store and install ESP Home. And then once you have that, you should see a ESP Home panel on the left side. Now, you have to basically inside the ESP Home add-on, you have to say show in sidebar. Once you get all this set up, you don't really need to show ESP Home in the sidebar anymore, so you may turn it off. But while we're programming this, let's just turn it on and then go to the ESP Home sidebar on the left side here. Now, I already have a device. This is a Rheem water heater. I've done another video on that, but I'm about to set up a second device, which is the hot tub. So you're going to go on the bottom right, and you are going to click on New Device. I'm going to call it Hot Tub, and say Next. And you're going to say, like, installation, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to say skip this step. Then ESP32 is going to be the one I'm going to pick. And that's it. And then I'm going to click Skip. Perfect. So now I have this new hot tub, basically, device right here. Now what I need to do is click Edit, and I need to edit this configuration. Now, a few things here. This is, so I generated new keys and new stuff. That's all cool. And here it says Wi-Fi, SSID and password. What you're going to do is, I won't do it because I don't want to show my SSID and password, but you're going to click on Secrets on the upper right, and you're going to enter there your Wi-Fi SSID and password. Make sure to type it correctly. And then once that's done, when you click Edit here, those values will get filled in on these two values here. You can also type them directly there, but it's better to keep them in the secrets part. Okay. Now, this will give you a basic, template. If you were to just click install and install this on the device, the device would go on Wi-Fi, but it wouldn't have the integration for the hot tub. So what we're going to do is open a new tab here, and in DuckDuckGo or your favorite search engine, I'm going to type IQ2020 ESP and go right into the GitHub integration right there. Perfect. So this is the GitHub integration for the IQ2020 controller for hot tubs. And there's a whole bunch of stuff here, but the important part is this here. And actually, the really important part is just after the Wi-Fi. So it says external components. So that part from external components all the way to the end, right here, copy. So I'm just going to do Control-C or right-click and say copy. And that's the part you want to copy. Go in the file, and then you'll see here Wi-Fi, hotpot, captive portal. So, and then I'm going to go ahead and paste Control-V, paste all that text there. Perfect. So that's what I need. Now you can remove the captive portal if you want. I don't use it, so I'm going to remove that. And then that's it. Yeah. So now there's a few things to note here. First of all, these GPIO settings. This, if you're using the M5 stack atom like I recommend, then these are the correct values. If you're using another device like the M5 stick or something else, you may have to fix these values. And if you want to know what the correct values is for your device, you can go at the end of this page here. There is a different ESP32 devices, and I basically show you the device and the right settings for that device. So for example, the stick that I showed earlier, these would be the correct values and so on and so forth. And there's this other device and these are the correct values. So anyway, just use the right values for you. Now the other thing is, I'm in the US, I use Fahrenheit, but you know, I wish we used Celsius, but this is the, if you use Celsius, replace this F here, here, and here with a C, and that will switch the controls to Celsius. This has to match what is in your hot tub. So whatever setting you put in your hot tub for Fahrenheit or Celsius, that's the one you have to also match up here. And then this flow control pin, most people don't use it, so we can remove it. If you have, in my case, I have two jets, Jet 1 and Jet 2, so I don't have Jet 3, so I can remove that. And then, let's see, you can remove stuff you don't need if there's anything you don't need. My jet number 1 has 1 speed, so that's why I have a 1 here. My jets number 2 have 2 speeds. It has off, low, or high. And so that's why there's a number 2 there. If by any chance your hot tub has just 1 speed on jet number 2 and 1 speed on jet number 1 or something like that, then you would fix these values. You would put like 1 here, and that would work. Okay, that's it. Otherwise, nothing else special. So good. Now we can hit save. And then once we hit save, we can hit install right here, or you can exit out and then hit the little 3 dots and say install. So, yeah, so I'm going to hit install, and here I'm going to say plug into computer. So I'm going to do that, and then it's going to tell me which COM port to use. And we've seen earlier that COM port 4 is the one that I should use for this device. I want to note that you have to use Chrome or Edge, not Firefox. I'm a Firefox user, but Firefox does not support the serial port thing. So you have to use either Edge or Chrome to support this. So I'm going to pick the COM4, hit connect, and you're going to see connecting. And my little device here, preparing installation, will take a little while. And what it should do is it should clear the software on this device. And actually, right now, what it's doing when it says preparing installation, it's actually compiling the new version of the software inside your Home Assistant. So the Home Assistant is doing the work of compiling the new firmware binary for this device. Once it's done compiling, it will start sending it to the device. And it will first erase the flash on this device and put the new one in. And we're done, configuration installed. So I'm gonna hit close, and once you're configured correctly, this device will immediately reboot and it will start connecting to your Wi-Fi. And you should see the device come online. So on the upper right of your device here, it should say online, and that's an indication that it's now working. And in my case, I've already installed this before, but otherwise you would have in settings here or notifications on the bottom. Let's see, right on the bottom where I am, but on the where my camera is, in notifications, you would see that a new device popped up, and you would click on it, and you would see the new device. So what you should see, if you go to settings, and you go to devices and services, you should see ESP Home here. In my case, I have 3 devices, but you should see a new one called a hot tub, because I called it like that, and you should see all of the values. Now it's going to say unknown on all the sensors because obviously this is not plugged in, and the switches here won't work. So you can click jet on, and after a while it will flip back because it's not able to send the command and get a confirmation that it's sent to the command to the hot tub. But if you're in this situation where you see a whole bunch of unknowns and you see the jets and everything, and you can click and everything seems to be okay, that's the time now to okay, so this is the time now where we can connect it to the hot tub. So first I'm going to disconnect it from my computer. Here the ding, and then I can connect it to the RS485 adapter. There we go. Perfect. At this point, we need to power it using the hot tub and connect the data lines, and we're done. We should start seeing data flowing onto our Home Assistant once we plug this in. So this is the inside of my IQ2020 control box, and what you're going to be looking for on the right side, about at the center of the right side, is the expansion connector. Now the expansion connector will have 8 pins total, but actually 1 missing, so it will have 7 pins. And it's located right here in my case. Now, because so some of these boards will have 1 expansion port, some will have 2. So I've seen pictures on the internet of both models. I happen to have 2 of them, but because I use this breakout board, I actually have 8 now. If you have no free ports, then you're probably going to have to set up or get this breakout board. Now, the expansion connectors are used for the ACE system, for automatic bromine, for the freshwater salt system, and for the audio system, and so on. So there's a bunch of different appliances or modules you can connect on this expansion port. And of course, we're going to connect Home Assistant with this ESP32 computer. The pins I've numbered from the bottom to the top. So pin 7 typically may be missing for you, and that's expected. But basically the bottommost is pin 1 and the topmost is pin 8. And so in my case, this is my 4 pins here, and these should fit nice and snug. You shouldn't have to push anything, and make sure not to bend any of the pins when you install the computer onto the board. So in my case, I have B as blue, A as yellow, I have red is 12 volt, and ground is black. And so I'm going to be connecting from the bottom to the top. I'm going to do yellow, then red, skip 1. I'm going to do black for ground, skip 1, and then blue. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to go and I'm going to use the leftmost connector right here, and I'm going to do that. So yellow first at the bottom, and it's nice and easy, super simple. Then the second one is red for the 12 volt. There we go. Push it in. Then I skip one and then black for ground. So skip a pin, black for ground. And then I skip another one and the B is blue. So, and there it's it. I have it connected. So then what you can do is take this little computer, it has Wi-Fi on it, it's powered, it doesn't need to have any Ethernet, USB or anything connected to it, just leave it in the box and then close your box and you are done. You can power on your tub and you should have data start to flow inside your Home Assistant right away. Easy. Okay, so I did set up the device on the hot tub, and now I'm just back inside my house to the main computer, and let's take a look at my integration. And look at that, we have data now. So as soon as the device booted up and was connected to the hot tub and we powered it back on, then we started getting a lot of new data. So the sensors are reading the current temperature, the outlet temperature, the heater. So currently it's heating. So the heater's turned on, and it's probably because the tub wasn't running for a while, so now it needs to be heated up again. I see the runtime, the target temperature in Fahrenheit, the power on counter. This goes up by 1 every time you boot up the hot tub, and you see all the jets. Now I can click on heating here, and you can see that it's currently at 99, heating over up to 101. And so you can see the outlet temperature, 107, and you can see the heater power is 3,892 watts. And that should update about, or will update every minute. So in general, all these values update every minute. If you do change the temperature or do some changes, then the polling frequency will change to poll right away. But otherwise, generally every minute. Now, what you can do is you can add this to your main control panel. So here I have the hot tub lights and I have the hot tub temperature. I can click on this and change the temperatures right there. You can click on, let's see, the little 3 dots and device info to come back to this screen here. And the other thing I want to show is the graphs. So of course I've set this up for a while now, and so I have this graphic of the temperatures, and so I have the outlet temperature, the current temperature, and the set temperature. And in my case, I changed dynamically using an automation inside Home Assistant. I changed the target temperature to lower it when the electric prices are high. So I have a variable electric rate here, and so there's times where the price of electricity is very, very high. And so during those times, I really don't want the hot tub to be heating, so I change the temperature to much lower. And so what you see is that it's totally working. On weekends, I have the low rate, so that's not impacted. But on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday here, the temperature has changed, and you can see that I am not heating the hot tub during the more expensive times. And so this is great. And of course, the hot tub stays really well. And I have another automation here where I bump up the temperature just an hour before the rates go higher, so that I basically can have the temperature go a little higher before the electric rates start being higher, and I have to kind of shut down the heater. So yeah, that's how it works now. And of course, the best is to use your phone and give it a try. So that's it. That's how easy it is to connect your hot tub to Home Assistant if you have this specific type of hot tub with this controller. Now, this allows you to do so many things. For example, you can blink the lights inside the hot tub when somebody rings the doorbell. You can do so many new things with this. But of course, it just makes the ownership, and if you have variable pricing, electric pricing in your area, this will save you a lot of money too. So hopefully that was useful. Have a great one.